What makes a mystery truly frightening is not knowing the answer, or the fact that the answer is even worse than we expected. In today's video, you will encounter 3 disturbing internet mysteries that were finally solved. But get ready. The truth may be even more bizarre than fiction. 1. The case of John Titor, the time traveler. In the early 2000s, the internet was not what we know today. Online forums were fertile ground for conspiracy theories, philosophical debates, and of course, inexplicable mysteries. It was in this environment that one of the greatest enigmas of the digital age emerged. A man who claimed to have come from the future. He said his name was John Titor, and his mission was one of the most unusual possible, to retrieve an IBM computer from 1975. But here's the scariest detail. His messages contained eerily detailed predictions about the future, and worse, some of them seemed to be coming true. In November 2000, an anonymous user began posting on forums like the Art Bell BBS and the Time Travel Institute. He claimed to be a time traveler from 2036 and said his name was John Titor. According to him, his timeline was very different from ours. The US had gone through a civil war. The world was facing a devastating crisis, and humanity was on the brink of collapse. But his goal was rather peculiar. He said he had come back to the year 2000 to retrieve an IBM 5100, an old computer that had a secret function essential for fixing issues in Unix systems in the future. People began testing his credibility with questions about scientific and mechanical details. Surprisingly, he answered with accuracy. He described a concept called micro-controlled singularity, something that at the time seemed like science fiction, but years later, modern physics would validate parts of this idea. But what really caught people's attention were his predictions. He predicted that the United States would enter internal conflicts, something many associated with political polarization and civil tensions in the following decade. He claimed that the 2004 Olympics would be cancelled due to a global crisis, which didn't happen, raising doubts about his authenticity. He described astronomical events with impressive precision. The internet was divided. Many believed he was just a well-informed troll, but others thought he might actually be a time traveler. Then, in 2001, John Titor disappeared as mysteriously as he had appeared. He never posted again. But years later, internet investigators found clues that suggested this could have been a meticulously planned hoax. The name most associated with the case is Larry Haber, an attorney specializing in the entertainment industry. The most accepted theory is that he and his brother, John Rick Haber, a computer expert, were the creators of this myth. The reason? No one knows for sure. Some believe it was just a social experiment, others say it was marketing for a book or movie. Whether John Titor really existed or not, we will never know. But his case showed how easily the internet can be manipulated and make the world believe in something absurd. After all, who needs a time machine when you have the influence of the internet? 2. The Enigma of Cicada. 3301. The Global Intellectual Challenge. Imagine that you're browsing the internet when suddenly you come across an enigmatic message. A simple image with the symbol of a cicada and a short but intriguing text. We are looking for highly intelligent individuals. This message contains a puzzle. Solve it and you will find us. This message first appeared in 2012 on the obscure 4chan forum, and thus began one of the greatest mysteries of the digital age, the Cicada 3301 challenge. At first, it seemed like just another internet joke, but as users began deciphering the clues, they realized they were dealing with something much bigger. Who was behind this puzzle? The government? A secret society? Elite hackers? What no one knew was that this mystery would become a real labyrinth, and only the brightest would make it to the end. Cicada 301 was not just any puzzle. To move forward, one had to have deep knowledge of cryptography, classical literature, advanced mathematics, and even obscure programming languages. The first challenge led participants to decipher a code hidden within the original image. This code directed them to a hidden link which contained an even more complex enigma. The following clues led players beyond the digital world. Coordinates were revealed, pointing to physical locations around the world: Spain, Poland, South Korea, Japan, the United States. In each of these locations, posters with the cicada symbol contained new codes for those willing to follow the trail. Participants were convinced this was not just a simple internet game. As weeks passed, the puzzles became increasingly difficult, eliminating all but the brightest. And then the challenge reached its end. After months of puzzles, only a few individuals managed to solve all the clues. They received a final message from Cicada 3301, informing them they had been selected. But this is when the real mystery began. After this selection, no one ever heard from them again. None of the winners ever publicly revealed what happened next. No official explanation was given about the true purpose of the enigma. The next year, Cicada 3301 reappeared, launching a new series of challenges. This happened again in 2014, but after that year, Cicada disappeared completely. No new messages, no new puzzles, just silence. To this day, no one knows who was behind Cicada 3301. Some believe it was a secret recruitment by an intelligence agency like the CIA or NSA. Others think it was a secret society looking for brilliant minds for an unknown purpose. But the most disturbing mystery is what happened to the winners. What did they discover? And why has no one ever returned to tell the truth? 3. The Elsagate phenomenon. The dark side of YouTube. Kids' YouTube is the perfect place to find content for all ages, right? Especially for kids who spend hours watching videos of their favorite characters. Now imagine that you're a parent, letting your child watch seemingly harmless videos on YouTube Kids. Elsa from Frozen appears on the screen, and everything seems normal until suddenly something strange happens. Elsa isn't singing, she's crying. Then a doctor appears, holding a huge syringe, ready to inject something into her. Spider-Man suddenly appears and starts acting bizarre. In another video, Peppa Pig is being tortured by evil dentists. These videos started appearing in 2016, and thousands of parents realized that something was terribly wrong. But the big question was, who was behind this? And the answer was even worse than anyone could imagine. The videos were part of a bizarre phenomenon dubbed Elsagate. Videos that appeared to be for children, but contained scenes of violence, torture, sexual situations, and disturbing behavior. But the strangest thing, these videos had millions of views. YouTube's algorithm recommended these videos to kids because they were filled with popular keywords, famous characters, and colorful thumbnails. Many parents trusted YouTube Kids to filter inappropriate content, but the truth was that this system was completely broken. The videos were produced by anonymous channels, often automatically generated by artificial intelligence, that mixed children's themes with bizarre content. Some were clearly made to exploit monetization, generating millions of dollars in ads. But then came the most disturbing theory of all. Investigators began to notice a darker pattern. Some of these videos seemed to follow a specific logic, as if they were sending coded messages to certain viewers. Many began to theorize that some videos could be used as codes for child exploitation networks on the dark web. It got so serious that the FBI and other agencies started investigating. YouTube, pressured by the media and outraged parents, finally took drastic measures, deleting millions of videos and banning various channels. But the most sinister thing, no one knows how many videos actually escaped this cleanup. The Elsagate phenomenon showed the world something terrifying. The dark side of the internet can be right in front of us, disguised as something harmless. If YouTube hadn't been pressured, how many children would have continued watching this content? Who was really behind this? And more importantly, does this type of content still exist, hidden in the dark corners of the internet? Did you enjoy these stories? Subscribe to The Last Clue and activate the bell to receive more mysteries like these. See you soon.